Now, if the evacuation or excavation found under the sea is actually a port, then where is Lord Krishna's Dwarka? Well, the Hindu scriptures refer to another place close to today's Dwarka as the place where Lord Krishna relaxed. So could that be the city Lord Krishna developed?
During the investigation of Lord Krishna's lost city, researchers found another place close to the water body. Research has found that the place has remains of a civilization that could be almost 3,000 years old. The place is called Bet Dwarka. Could this be the lost city that marine archaeologists and scientists are trying to find under the sea? Is Bet Dwarka the lost city of Lord Krishna? According to Hindu mythology, Bet Dwarka was a pleasure resort for Lord Krishna. It is said that Lord Krishna would take his wife Rukmini and other gopikas to this place to relax. This place is considered to be Lord Krishna's lost city, then what about the city that was found under the sea? According to Mahabharata, Lord Krishna found Bet Dwarka too small for his people. They say that this forced him to build a city on water. He encroached upon the water body and built his city and called it Dwarka. Now, could it be the same city that marine archaeologists have found under the sea? Another theory in the Purana says that Sri Krishna left Mathura because he feared an attack from Jarasandha and Kalaivan. He then arrived at the coast of Saurashtra. After reaching here, he decided to build his capital in the coastal region, and so he appealed to the Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma said that the task can be completed only if the Lord of the Sea provided some land. Legend has a different twist to this particular theory. It is believed that Lord Krishna asked the sea gods to give him some land, and the sea retreated to make way for Dwarka. Lord Krishna then worshipped and pleased the Lord of Sea, and he not only gave him land, but he even built Dwarka, the city of gold. Mahabharata says Dwarka was a planned city on the banks of Gomti river. The city was also known as Dwaramati, Dwaravati and Kushthali. It had 6 well-organized sectors, residential and commercial zones, wide roads, plazas, palaces and many public utilities. The city also boasted of a good sea harbour. The city had hundreds of palaces made of gold, silver and other precious stones. Each one of Lord Krishna's wives had their own palace. Besides this, the city had beautiful gardens filled with flowers of all seasons and beautiful lakes. But where are they now? One city, a million questions. Well, Dwarka is just one city in Gujarat, but the place raises a million questions. Researchers say that a tsunami could have destroyed the city of Dwarka thousands of years ago. The tsunami could have swallowed the city and ended the legacy of Lord Krishna's beloved city. Scientists even say that there could have been a possibility of a huge earthquake years ago. The earthquake could have forced the city underground. Geomorphologic evidences also show that the northwestern part of the Indian landmass was seismically active during the last 10,000 years. Killer quakes could have caused the shifting of the rivers, and sea level fluctuation led to the sinking of the legendary city of Dwarka, the capital of the Lord King Krishna. Now, if you consider that theory, then there is another question. How could Bet Dwarka escape the huge earthquake? nature answer questions about Dwarka city? Thousands of people and decades of research are yet to reveal the real location of Dwarka. The sea has witnessed things that most of us cannot even imagine. They say that the air, water, fire, land and sky have their own languages. Nature answers human query in its own language. Maybe one day these 5 elements can answer our search for Lord Krishna's Dwarka. Lord Krishna's Dwarka has remained as a mystery for centuries together. One wonders if we can ever confidently say that this was the very place which belonged to Lord Krishna. Can we ever confirm that Lord Krishna instructed Arjuna in Mahabharata after his city was submerged underwater? The Dwarka era was long over, but the story of Dwarka continues to run in millions of Hindu households. But questions regarding the Lord's lost city don't seem to end. Dwarka city can answer unanswered questions. The importance of the discovery of Dwarka is not just about finding evidence to prove the submergence of the city. It is also indirectly fixing the date of the Mahabharata, which is a landmark in Indian history. To many, this also means that the Mahabharata is not a myth but an important source of information for studying the ancient history of India. The search for the lost city has been going on since 1930. Dr. S.R. Rao, who is still actively involved in the excavations, claims that it was only after marine archaeologists started exploring the seabed near modern Dwarka in 1981 that the structural remains of the city were found. Marine archaeologists, including Dr. Rao, claim that a fraction of the funds spent on land archaeology were made available for underwater archaeology. He feels that more funding into marine archaeology will go a long way. Dwarka's existence has disproved the belief held by Western archaeologists that there was no urbanization in the Indian subcontinent from the period between 1700 BC and 550 BC. There was absolutely no information available about that period, and hence Western archaeologists had labeled it the Dark Period. History has it that the story of this city has fascinated many poets and scholars for ages. As its name goes, Dwarka had many gates that were connected to the mainland via bridges. But unfortunately, nobody today is able to reach the main door the way they did in those days. A News 9 report.